Hi, Periscope. Please, somebody just hit the number 1 if you can hear me. Okay, maybe you can't hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Oh, you can hear me. Okay, okay. So, because I have the window down, so I think it might work better with my microphone. Okay, everyone can still hear me? Okay, with the hearts, I'm hoping that means you can hear me. So, I just came to you today. I am Dr. Renee, and I honestly just want everyone to be happy. I just got some news today that I lost somebody that meant a lot to me, and I want everyone to live the life that they deserve right now, because you just don't know. This person was a very healthy person and came down with cancer, and she fought it the best she could, but she did not win the battle. And so I just really want to just explain to you that anything you dream, you could actually have. You just have to have the vision. You have to believe it, ask for it, and wait for it to come. And when I say wait for it to come, in the waiting, you have to be prepared. So therefore, you need to take the steps to make it happen, whatever it is. You have to do everything in your power to see to it that it happens. I'll give you an example. I forgot when Oprah Winfrey came on air, but I saw Oprah Winfrey and was like, oh my God, I could be her. Like, that woman really looks like me. She's the same complexion as me. I could be her. And I said, I need to meet her. And so I remember many years that was ago. So I moved to Chicago, and that was my first mission. I was like, I am going to meet Oprah. As a matter of fact, I remember the first week I lived here, I asked somebody, where is the studio? They told me, and I remember it was dark. And I drove over there, and I took pictures of the studio because I couldn't obviously take pictures of myself. So we have, these fancy cameras and all that then. So I just took pictures of the studio and sent them to my mother and was like, emailed them to her, old fashioned, right? And said, look. And she's like, why is it dark? I was like, because that's when I figured out where the dark studio was going to be. So, where it was. So she was like, okay, and I said, Mom, I'm going to meet Oprah. So I moved here October 30th, I believe, of 2003. No, 2003? Yeah, that's right, 2003. I met Oprah March of 2004. My show aired the Friday before Easter that year, which I think Easter was in April that year. And I also, before I went to the show, I rehearsed with my sister what I would say, because I did not want to stutter and I did not want to start crying. And I know I'm a crier. So I just knew that I was going to do both, if not a combination or one or the other. So I rehearsed with my sister what I was going to say. And all my friends were like, don't ask her for a picture. You cannot ask Oprah for a picture. And I said, I know. So I didn't ask her for a picture. And my sister, like I said, I rehearsed it. And when we got there, she said, Sally Lou of the audience crew said, if you see the after show sign, you can stand up right then if you have something to say to Oprah. So I stood up, and Oprah called on me and said, yes, ma'am. And I told her exactly what I had rehearsed, and she asked me to come down and sit with her. And I knew at that very moment that I was going to get my picture. I'm not going to cry right now. But I knew I was going to get my picture. And sure enough, as soon as I sat down, she said, look right there, there's your picture. And sure enough, I was looking at a monitor of me and Oprah Winfrey, and her photographer took our picture. And she continued to talk to me through that entire segment. So from one commercial to the next commercial, it was just me and Oprah. And I knew at that moment, well, actually I didn't know. So I go back to my seat, and my dad said, you did it? And I said, yeah, I did, huh? So when I woke up later at my apartment, I said, Dad, I had this dream. I met Oprah. He was like, you did? And my father does not argue with me. And I said, no, Daddy, I didn't really meet Oprah. You don't have to agree with me. And he was like, Renee, I am not disagreeing with you. I was there. And I was like, I don't believe you. And I really was in a fog. And then it came on TV. And people saw it before I did, because I was out of town that weekend. And so I was getting calls and they were like, we saw you. And I was like, really? And they played, like they didn't cut any of it. The whole thing was there. And I knew then, I was like, okay, anything I say, I can really make it happen. I just have to say it and believe it and make it happen. And the funny thing is that Oprah, for her first year of the Live Your Best Life tour, she came to Detroit. And I was there, and she said you could ask questions. And so my mother's like, go and ask questions. And I said, I don't have a question. My mother said, go stand up there and figure out something. So by the time I went and stood up there, she had cut off the line right in front of me. But I wasn't even upset. So it was almost like I knew that my time would come. Because obviously if I'm standing in the audience and she's on stage, I really didn't meet Oprah. But this time, I was sitting next to her, not to mention the woman had a death grip on my hand. She would not let go. So I knew I wasn't leaving the stage because she was holding on to my hand so tight. So I just tell that story to say that literally, honestly, anything that you think is possible can happen. I went to the Oprah Winfrey Show every single season that I've lived here except for one I missed. And I was at the finale at the United Center. And that was all because I just spoke it and claimed it, that this is what's going to happen and I'm going to do it. I said that I was going to become a doctor at a very, very young age. And there was many people that did not believe I would become a doctor. I had lots of obstacles that one day will be in my book. And and if you watch my show, the Ask Dr. Renee show, I've talked about some of these obstacles as well. But I've had several obstacles in my way. I had breathing issues and barely could breathe to even survive to still be alive at this age. And I'm still here, and I made it. I graduated. And I also said that I wanted to take medicine to the masses. I've done television. I've done radio. I'm on publications that get 1 million hits every day. And so, really, you have to believe that you can do it. And I don't know what your it is, but whatever it is, you can do it. So I'm saying this because I really want everyone to live their life now. My friend was 49, and like I said, she was healthy as a horse. And then 2.5 years ago was hit with this horrible cancer. And, now she's not here. But I know that going forward, I'm going to be pushed to even work harder because I have to do it for her too, because she was one of my cheerleaders, and I'm going to miss her a lot. But, and I guess I'm not going to cry. But, I'm stuck in traffic, and Chicago traffic is making me very mad today. But I want to tell you that because I also want to say that today I actually sent the first assignment to my first coaching client. And so I am actually going to put out my shingle, and I'm going to start coaching people to help to build their brands, because a lot of people have seen what I've done, and I've done a lot of it in a short amount of time. But I know a lot of people, clearly, and I got a few connections, and if I believe in what you're doing, then I am more than happy to help you, of course for a small fee, but I'm more than happy to help you to build your brand, build your, social media following, and honestly, and you can watch my brother Paul Carrick Brunson Mentor Monday episode, I think it was 34, it was on Monday, it's on Spreecast, Paul C. Brunson. He was talking to Mr. Mike Street, who I know is on Periscope. You can check him out too. But he was talking about how if you want to sell anything, or you want to have any kind of product, or you want to be any kind of successful business, you have to have a social media following. You have to have a following, period, but you really need a social media following. And not to mention, social media, it's such free marketing that you'd be silly not to master it. So anybody that would like my help, here is my email address, and my sister is on, so I'm sure she'll type it up for you. But it's info@askdrrenee.info, info at askdrrenee.info, and I would love to help you. I am not ridiculous in my fees, but and you do not have to live here in lovely Chicago or any of the other states that I seem to travel to on a regular basis. I'm very good and savvy with the computer, obviously, and we can meet that way. But I really would like to help people because I am all about everyone being happy, and I hate to hear, it's very disheartening for me to hear that people are sad on Sunday because they got to go to work on Monday. No, you should be happy every day, because there are some people that didn't get up. And people think I'm funny when they say, how are you? And I say, I am great. I don't have any bad days, just moments, because the only bad day I'll have is when I don't wake up and I'm 6 feet under. So I have moments when I'm not positive Polly, but those are moments, and I let those pass quickly. So I hope that this was helpful to somebody today. It was really in my spirit, especially after hearing what had happened to my friend. I just really wanted to share that you need to live your life right now. I will also be having a live event very soon, probably here in Chicago, and I would love for as many of you as possible to attend. But I really, really, really want everyone to live their life right now. Don't wait. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is it. This is the only one we got. So we might as well do what we can with it. And don't worry about, everything will come. Like, I mean, honestly, I have med school loan debt, but I'm like, I can do it. I just got to do it. And you can do it. You just have to do it. And when you start moving, you'd be amazed. The doors that'll fly open and the momentum will just kick off. I mean, I was on Cafe Mocha Radio last Saturday. They're syndicated like Tom Joyner and Steve Harvey in like 35 markets, and they're on satellite. So, you know, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Please, please don't give up. Keep going, because right when you're about to give up is when the big, huge thing is about to happen. Just what you need it to happen is going to happen. So you don't want to give up. You want to keep going. Keep going. So like I said, info@askdrrenee.info. And you can follow my Periscope. I hope to bring good information. If anyone has any questions now, the traffic is kind of moving, but I could try to take a few. But I just want to help people. And that's really my thing, is to help people. You can follow me on all social media at Ask Dr. Renee, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and of course my YouTube channel. My show is on Sunday evenings at 8 o'clock Central Time. That's 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. And this Sunday is the beginning of June, which is Black Music Month. So we are talking to DJ D-Nice, as in D-Nice. You take it out to suckers and you don't know how I did it. And he was also a member of Boogie Down Productions, BDP, from the Bronx. So please, please make sure you watch. It's going to be a great episode, a great conversation. Derek is an awesome individual, and he has a great story to tell about how his life, took a turn, but he found another way, and he's been, keeping it moving. So I hope that you will tune in. And of course, we always have a Q&A on my show. So if you would like to ask questions, get your questions ready, and we will take those as well. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Oh, in Chicago, if you're in town here in Chicago, I'm on my way to the screening of an awesome documentary about HIV and AIDS in Romania. So you can go to my Facebook fan page and see all the information and come check it out.